Aaron Rodgers is just full of surprises, and recently we learned exactly what those shoes are that he has been wearing. Now, he recently did call them his Super Dad shoes on the Pat McAfee show.
See, I got my super dad shoes on. They're the rockers. You can tell they have basically a little you know half circle on the bottom. It allows me to get from my heel to my midfoot to my toe pretty easily. And last week was a tough week of rehab, but we kind of adjusted some things with the shoes and with my insoles. And later in the week, I really started to progress kind of back onto what I was doing a few days before that.
But not naming them by brand or model or anything like that. But we have seen him wearing these particular shoes since at least after week 8. When I last saw him wearing Adidas Boost shoes, the Ultra Boost, which I'll put a little caption of that on your screen now. But now it looks like since that game, every single appearance that we have seen of him, starting with that game, which he's warming up, throwing those 55-yard plus passes, are the Keen WK400 walking shoes that we have seen in a couple of different colorways. Here's one, and then the most recent one is the what I believe is the waterproof version. So he did say on the Pat McAfee show, when referring to them as his Super Dad shoes, that they're basically a shoe that has a lot of stack height and has basically a half circle, allowing him to transfer from his heel to his midfoot and really roll through that gait. And I'll elaborate on that here in a second. Now, Keen has been all over this. In fact, I did a little video about what the dad shoes are and kind of going over that a couple of weeks ago. And since that time, I have gotten comments from Keen about that video, and I've seen them pop up on X, and I've seen them in a couple of other places on my videos here. So Keen is very interested in promoting these shoes. I did see a write-up in Sports Illustrated talking specifically about this and calling out the quote from Aaron about these particular shoes. And then finally, what's more, is a quote, the same quote on the Keen website seen here. Basically throwing down with an unofficial sponsor from Keen about him wearing these shoes, and that he is attributing these shoes as the secret to his recovery. That's a big deal. Aaron Rodgers currently does have a contract with Adidas since 2015, and for a while it looks like he was wearing the Adidas Boost, the Ultra Boost, and that was a decent shoe. He said it had like a huge rocker outsole and everything, but of course has moved over to the Keens. I don't know what all went down with Aaron Rodgers. It seems like he's very thoughtful about his decisions, so I'm sure that there's more to the story about how he ended up with these on his feet. With that being said, what makes this particular shoe so special, beside it being a external rocker sole? Well, I think it might be the rigid carbon plate, which is within the midsole of the shoe, sandwiched between the outer tread, the foam, and then of course the foam that the foot stays on. Now, I don't know if Aaron does have a insert within the shoe, meaning a custom orthotic or special liner of his shoe that replaces the factory liner that is built specifically for him, and offloading that Achilles, as we know that he did have surgery. I don't know that. You would want a shoe that has what's called added depth or accommodative, meaning it can accept an insert. But that being said, the shoe definitely has a carbon plate. And what this can do is it acts as a spring mechanism, acts as a rigidity mechanism. It keeps that external curve of the shoe a curve versus collapsing and being non-compliant, meaning it loses its shape as the person walks. It maintains its shape and allows the user, Aaron Rodgers, to have a nice smooth gait throughout the walking cycle. Now, he has been using these shoes for the past couple weeks. He has been on camera warming up, throwing big passes. Every week it seems like he's having a much smoother gait pattern, a much smoother walking pattern. Combining the shoes with the very aggressive recovery that he's been doing, and of course the stated goals of returning in December here of returning to the Jets and playing. That being said, it's just very phenomenal that he has once again gone back to a shoe that is not sponsoring him, but he has definitely been on camera with the thing. He's talked about it in a roundabout way, so that's great. And one more thing, when he did go on camera arriving to the locker room for the first time, I believe those were the Hoka Bondi shoes. So Aaron has gone through Adidas shoes, he's gone through Hoka shoes, now he's onto these Keen WK400s. So obviously he's going to be in cleats whenever he arrives back on the field, but I just think it's super interesting that he's really attributed these shoes to being part of his recovery. I really just wanted to point that out. I do work in a field in which we look at shoes and we look at feet, and we watch people's gait pattern, and I'm all over this. I love talking about shoes. So if you're interested in that and the recovery journey of athletes, feel free to subscribe, smash that like button. It tells me that you found value in the content, and I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful evening.